So it looks like we have some interesting news here in the Prince world today. Hey everybody, welcome back to Prince's Friend, exploring music through Prince. Today we have a little bit of news that was put out last night by Dr. Funkenberry, or at least that's where I got linked to it. And of course they gave a link also to the Star Tribune, which is a little bit more credited, but Dr. Funkenberry's been pretty good about their news anyway. But this huge news is that the Prince estate is going to assume management of Paisley Park. So we all know that starting in October of 2016, Graceland had taken over management of Paisley Park. And Graceland obviously is really well known for doing Elvis's Graceland, so there you go. And now they've done it for 3 years. And one of the big things in the article is they were like really stressing that, you know, it's not because there were arguments or anybody was unhappy or anything like that. Their contract is up and they've decided to not renew. And this seems to have created like this weird kind of ripple effect in all of the social media and everything that I've seen. I've seen one side camp that are like, good, that's great, they'll be in charge of it. And I've seen the other side that's like, oh my god, if they're leaving, then that means it's gonna close down, and this is terrible, this is the worst news ever. But you know, I'm kind of somewhere in the middle, as per usual. So the interesting thing is, I had heard that there were some shakeups at the beginning of this year, end of last year. So maybe some of that was already kind of leading towards an eventual transition. It looks like here is that October 1st is when the Prince estate is going to take it over, and it's probably starting now to then is going to be like the transitionary period, would be my thought. But it has been said that it was always planned for the family to eventually take over Paisley Park. And again, if you take it from that standpoint, it sounds like they probably were like, we don't know what to do with this right now. We're dealing with a lot of things. Let's sign the 3-year contract. They can show us, like, we can see how they do it. We can see how they do. We can watch how they manage. We can see how they do the employees, see how they do the tours and everything. And then when the contract's over, we will take over from there. And the article doesn't say anything about current employees and whether they'll just be transitioned over to the Prince estate or if they'll have to reapply or what's going to happen. So like, I know a lot of the employees there and they're all really wonderful people. So I'm hoping that there's not too big of a hiccup for them. But this is not the terrible, the sky is falling news that some people are making it out to be. I think it could be good. A lot of people were also connecting this to the Ava DuVernay leaving the Prince documentary and saying like, oh no, they're just losing everything. And you know what? Taking a step back from it all, I think that maybe the Prince estate has their hands in a lot of cookie jars right now. And even if this was part of them saying, you know, let's pull this back, let's pull this back, let's pull this back, that's not necessarily a bad thing to do. If they've taken this time to kind of experiment and figure it out what they want to do and stuff, and they've decided we want to do this, we don't necessarily want to do that, that's cool. It's better to go ahead and focus the resources that they have to hit certain projects that they think are going to have, you know, the biggest impact. But of course, this is me looking at it through rose-tinted goggles. I don't know, this is just the way that I see it. I could see this as a really good thing. I also know of some people who originally worked for Paisley Park when Prince was alive who left because they didn't like the Graceland management. So what that could mean is that maybe even some of those people might be able to come back. You never know. So what do you guys think? October is when the Prince estate takes over. Is it really going to make that big of a difference? I mean, if they took the time to write out, you know, management manuals, operation manuals, this is how you do this job, this is how you do that job, it really should just be like handing over the keys and saying good luck, especially if they keep on some of the current employees who already know the job really well. But it also could mean that they're looking to change things up, and maybe there'll be a completely different way that the whole place will be organized and run. Who knows? I'm actually kind of excited about this because I've been now to Paisley a few times, and as exciting as Celebration was the second time, it was very much the same. So maybe this change up is exactly what we need, and that'll make the next celebration come April 2020, it'll make it that much more exciting. I do want to know what you guys think. Put your thoughts down in the comment. What do you think about this news? What do you think about the future of Paisley Park? I want to know. Otherwise, also check out the Patreon, hit us up on social media, and may you live to see the dawn. Love you all.